think I can.
Can you do it?
Yes, I think I can.
Can you do it? There's another
Yeah,
person
actually,
here. There's another person here. Get him in there too. Can we do it?
yes. I think we can. I'm gonna help him out. Do whatever it takes. Actually embrace myself again.
What would you tell him? What would you tell him? Can we do it?
Sus. You and I have been through a lot. You and I know what we've done, what could have been done, our strength and weakness. But this time, I got you. Like, no matter how much we don't like each other, how much we hate each other, and how much that we actually love each other, I got you. Like, let's go.
We can do this.
We are the same one after all. And we can do this. We definitely can. Yeah, we can do this. I believe in that.
All right. Well, so nameplates are off. First thing we should start with is, why did you choose this world?
Well, I guess because it's just like what my mind is right now. It's vast, lots of grass, but it's constantly raining. Like, these are just thoughts that just keeps pouring down one after the other into an empty world. I picked the bus stop because it reminds me of home, where the settings are very familiar, old and rustic, and it just feels very homey. But as you hear the rain just keep tapping away on the metal sheets, slowly the metal becoming rusted, is like how it feels to be right now. They're just slowly rusting away.
Wow.
That's why I picked this world.
Very beautiful and specific. Do you have a name that you would like to be known as?
Well, I'll just call myself Sus for now.
Okay.
Because that's what I really am.
Suspect.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Roughly how old are you? Oh, good.
I'm 24. Still going on through life as life takes me, and not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. Been having trouble trying to find out what I want to do and who I am really. It's just really troubling and really hard to find out who you are when you were small. You were told as a shy kid to try to fit in with society or with the friends that you meet, and you don't really know how. If there was a manual for it, then it'd be pretty easy, right? But no one's gonna give you like a free handbook. So you just look around and see what people would do. And if you could just mimic them and copy how they react and how they work with it, then hey, you might just fit in. I've been going around, floating around, mimicking people and just watching, being the observant one and the shy and quiet one. And you pick up a lot of stuff. You hang out with the nerds, you be a nerd. You hang out with the geeks, you be a geek. Bookworms as well, to the naughty kids, to the kids who always get not suspended, but like into lots of trouble, play fights, swear words, and all that jazz. It became to the point that I've done it so much that I don't really know what kind of person I am now. It accumulated over the years and years of just growing up. You just follow the flow. People would say to take charge and take life into your own hands, but you don't even know how to start with it. You do something that you like, you found out that you actually suck at it. Then you try something else, it just keeps repeating the whole process to the point where you don't know what you're good at and you don't know what you're bad at. It's like you're living your own life, but at the same time you're not. You're just there as a shell on autopilot while you pick out every day which mask to put on, which mask is suitable for this occasion, which mask is suitable for that occasion, and you just go from there. No matter what you choose, you always feel like you're gonna be the only one that's just isolated from everyone. You're gonna have friends, yes, but if you're one to be born with overthinking, and I overthink almost way too easily and on everything, you're gonna start judging yourself and other people if they really are your friends. And if they really are, like, what you think they are to you is. So, you having to know that originally you're a kind person, you're funny and all that, that's good. That's your base foundation for being a person that you are. But for me, I don't know. People say that I'm what I am, but I don't know myself who I am. You go through these depression episodes like everyone else, wave after wave after wave, and you tell everyone about your problems, but when you tell someone about your life story, may it be hard or simple, and you tell them what's on your mind, it's not actually what you think. It's more of just telling them what you want them to hear instead of just saying the whole thing. And I was just told that recently, that I've been telling people more of a smokescreen of my story life than what I really am. And that kind of just confused me to the point that I've been lying to myself the whole time. That's why I'm so confused to who I am. That's why I guess I'm a sus. I don't know what I am. I don't know who I am. And I've been trying to find that ever since. It's just been hard. Because I don't know where to start.
Alright. I heard a lot in there. And I want to give you justice so people kind of know a little bit of your background before we dive into it. So the next thing is, where were you born and where do you live now?
So, I was born back in Hong Kong, it's part of China. I grew up there most of my life. It's pretty quiet, fast-paced. If you don't fit in, then well, you don't basically really fit in. You know, again, go with the crowd. Right now I live in New York, and that was around 4 years now since I've been here in New York.
You feel like it's a good fit?
Kinda, a little bit. I was kind of forced to come here a little bit because I had to take care of my sister, even though I'm the youngest one. But yeah, New York's not a bad place. Just minus the bad parts, but it's not a bad place.
So like there's these good things here, but let's just ignore everything else under the rug.
Yeah, let's just ignore those little small minor details. And that's not such a bad place.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? So obviously you speak English. What languages do you know, and then are there any that you want to learn?
Oh, I mainly know English. My mother tongue would be Tagalog. It's from the Philippines. I do know a little bit. My brain won't accept Chinese, so that's out of the question. And I'm currently learning ASL.
Okay.
because it looked cool and other stuff, mainly other stuff. But yes.
Yeah, definitely popular with a lot of people in VR chat because it's universal and it's easier for the brain to learn.
Yep, exactly.
All right. It's about that time to ask a very controversial question. And I'm sorry to do this to you. I don't want to make it seem like you don't fit in. But here we go. What's your favorite color?
I mean, can there be more than one?
You should go for it.
Well, blue, black, and gray.
Oh, my
Actually, no,
man.
wait, sorry.
My man. Oh,
Oh, white, black, and gray. There we go.
my man. All right, those are mine too. Look at that.
Hey.
Okay. Now the actual. What brings you, Mr. Sus, to be what you feel and what you see as being your best self? What brings you to be your best?
It's pretty hard considering not knowing, but
Right.
can't say for sure, actually. Sorry.
That makes a lot of sense, seeing how, identity is the big thing that we're going to talk about. Could you maybe recall, like, your most joyous memory and how you just felt, very elated, upbeat, ecstatic?
Well, I guess when I used to be feeling really alive was when I was like a little kid. Because
Mm,
I always hated growing up. I hated the part that, you know, growing up, you get more responsibilities and you become less the kid you are. And I kind
right.
of want to change that. I want to be more of an adult, but I want to still have a kid at heart. Because that's, I don't know if that's still what adults right now are kind of missing right now, but that's what I want to
Yes.
be.
Wholeheartedly support
But my
that.
joyous moment, exactly. But my joyous moment was, I guess when I was like 5 or 6.
Hmm.
Take shoelaces from shoes, place them around everywhere in the room, and use them as zip lines and play with your toys.
Hmm.
That's when I was most alive. Creativity, excitement, the joy, the wonderfulness of being completely oblivious to everything and just to be curious about everything. Then having to follow the same routine every single day and be like a robot. I don't
Hmm.
like doing that. I want to be different. I want to change. I want to be something that could have never been before. That I guess now I kind of went in with the meta, and I'm just one of the old Joe.
Hmm.
Basically
Honest
like a lost boy in Neverland.
makes a lot of sense. And I have a place for us to go, but before we go there, there's one last question. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being I lie to myself all the time, 10 being I never lie to myself. Where would you fall on that scale?
Honestly, say about a 1.
Hmm.
Look, I had like a contract with myself ever since I was little
Hmm.
that I wouldn't really like myself as much, and I like helping others, but I would rather not help myself. Yes, it's pretty much like every other teen or 20s that has no life yet. They just find joy in helping other people than finding joy in helping themselves because they just find this as a lost cause.
Hmm.
I'm just one of them. Like, Every small thing you do, no matter how small of a mistake you do, it just amplifies on your head very heavily to the point it just stays there for days, two
Yep.
weeks, 2 months. And if you're lucky, maybe it just stops there and not over to a year. But with people that has like overthinking, like me, you might go for more than a year, and in the future you might just remember it and just dwell on it again.
So if you were to think of a goal, something to really strive for, what would that look like?
The goal,
Mm-hmm.
it would be to just hmm, live in a nice place, make models for a living, because I love to create, and honestly, just be myself, if I could find myself. Because if I could just be myself, I'm content with that. I'm don't have to get like, the motto that girl can change a man, which is kind of true, but you wouldn't want to depend on that, now would you? That would be just a
Well,
form of using.
so that gives a lot of context for what we're going to get into, but I more so meant a goal for, us sitting down and talking about this. So it sounds like you would like some help with finding yourself and kind of being okay with that. Now,
Yeah.
this might get a little bit rocky real quick because of a couple things I got to point out. One, you said you're a one on that scale, meaning you lie to yourself quite a lot. And you have a hard time accepting yourself, and you kind of distract yourself by helping other people. And it sounds like you have this very, strong belief of like, why bother? Like, what's the point? And it's kind of really snowballed into like this giant mountain of like negative thoughts and fixations, and it's massive. You know, you overthink a lot. So if
Yeah.
if if we were to go after that goal, we're gonna have to start, chipping away at that. If you feel comfortable talking about those things.
Well, 24 years, might as well.
So, okay. Let's start with a very generic question that sounds like you don't know the answer to. Who are you? Like, what comes up when you ask yourself that question? Honestly, beyond the
A
lies.
kid that's that's lost, doesn't know where to go,
Okay.
drowning in the sea of cyber internet, while the rain keeps pouring down like thoughts.
All right.
That's a negative.
Right.
Positively, I see myself as a soft, kind person.
Hmm. So
That's it.
you described when you were younger zip lines, creativity, curious, exploration, kind of reintegrating your childhood self with who you are now and your adult self. So I mean, if when talking about people figuring out like what they want to do and who they want to be, you typically have beacons, which are like things you're interested in, things that have brought you joy in the past, things you really don't like, and that can kind of chart a path for you in what could be explained as this heavy rain and fog. So you said you like modeling or the sculpting. You like being creative.
Yeah.
What else could you see that as?
Well, job opportunities for one, and just for a way to actually feel the joy of creating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love to make sceneries. Love to make this kind of model. Something that brings an object to life so people could use. Basically leaving like, I guess like a piece of yourself
Mm-hmm.
somewhere out there. A bit of a, I wouldn't really say legacy because it's not that grandiose, but yeah, just living yourself somewhere, making a mark
Mm-hmm.
to know that you were alive, that you were here somewhere.
That you were alive. Kind of want to maybe highlight that and magnify it for a second. Do you feel like you're not alive?
Uh, no, honestly, no.
Mm.
Feels like I'm walking with a shell, well, again, with a mask on the whole time, and I can't really take it off. Because if I take it off, who am I?
Well, I think we've already kind of discovered a few barricades in your path. You know, let's say for starters, right? Because figuring out who we are is kind of usually guided by things we like and don't like, and that could be a beacon off in the distance. But we got this barricade here of I am afraid to take that journey because, who am I? I could be a really bad person. I could be too soft. I might be walked all over. People might not like me. It's all uncertainty. And that would be the first place to kind of start or look at is, you know, what comes up when you think about tomorrow I'm going to take off the mask and I'm going to go through my day in whatever form of me that is.
Like what I want to do tomorrow?
What you want to
Like what I
do,
want to actually achieve?
who you actually want to be, these are all things that, you'd want to consider. What comes up authentically?
But if I start who I want to be and destroy the image of who I am currently by other people, wouldn't that be a bit more concerning? Like, you basically
Well,
destroy your own self-image to create a new one, and it's like making another mask all over again.
well, let's kind of slow down the pace at this part because I can tell this is a little bit it needs some care. So when a person is sculpting themselves, it can be seen as painful because you are both the sculptor and the sculptee. That's why the concerns of, what people think about you and every other consequence that follows starts to come up because you realize that might be painful, changing who I am. And I also hear the concern of, am I only doing the same thing that I've always done? When it comes to figuring ourselves out, I like to remind people of compasses. One is sort of given to you from the outside world, whether your parents, friends, TV, everyone around you. They sort of give you that societal expectation, and that compass might tell you to go in this direction, or here's the meta, or this is what everyone else is doing. But when we were a kid, we said, fuck all that, because I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to explore. I'm going to create. I'm going to, you know, do whatever my heart and my compass tells me. I'm going to go in whatever direction that is. So you would want to start to work on following that compass and repairing it, starting to find the pieces so that you can figure out what direction it's pointing in. Because often, as we get older, you know, if we aren't taking care of this compass, we're not polishing it, you know, maybe, you know, we drop it on the ground because, you know, we have such high pressure to follow our external compass expectations that, you know, maybe our heart is lost and we don't know who we are anymore. So in lifting this barrier, you would be giving permission to pick up your childhood compass, your compass, and start to figure out who you really are. And is that going to come at a price? Damn right it is. But let's look at the alternative. Would you want to live the rest of your life as you are right now, not knowing who you are, not having as much joy as you could, being uncertain and a husk, as you describe it? Because that's the price you would pay.
I do want to actually be who I am, but at the same time, I do want to be there for people. So it's hard for me to decide. Since I have a strong sense of injustice for myself. Wait, is that the right word? No, it's just a strong word of hate for myself. But also a strong feeling of wanting to be what I want to be. Because I'm tired of not knowing what I am. Instead of being suspicious all the time.
Okay. So you want to help others. And you want to be who you are. But it sounds like self-hatred is kind of getting in the way. What does that self-hatred look like? What are the thoughts and feelings that go with it?
It's basically when you look at yourself at the mirror and you're your own worst enemy. When, like, again, when you try something for the first time, you couldn't get it right for like about 100th time. You just stop. The self-hatred kicks in. And once you keep trying on something new, or you keep trying on the same thing over and over and over again, those times that you tried lessens until it's like the 5th time, 4th, 3rd, or even the 1st time. Then your self-hatred just gains a massive boost of ego and just pummels you down. Back into a never-ending hole that you just keep trying to climb out of.
All right. So we're following the route into the rabbit hole. So it sounds like there was a compounding amount of failures that led to this giant wall. And we're going to have to start breaking it apart piece by piece if we have to. So when it comes to figuring out, you know, the things that we're good at, we're gifted at, that we enjoy, meets all the criteria of Ikigai, if you've heard of that. You know, something that really gives us life. You know, it can be difficult to fail at it, let alone fail at it many times. And often what I find in people is that, you know, sometimes it's just about changing the strategy so that you're not doing the same thing and kind of expecting something different, right? Because that would be the definition of insanity. And it can be difficult to figure out a different strategy so that you can find success, because all of those failures are reinforcing, just as all of our successes are also reinforcing. You know, whenever we're really good at something, it can be, you know, a very addicting to follow that path because, like, goddamn, this feels good. Like, I can do this. But something else that can be even more gratifying is persevering through the failures. And that's where the large majority gets stuck. You know, strategies can be difficult to come up with. You might need some help. Maybe the traditional approach isn't what works for you. Maybe your brain's different. You know, how do you work with your skill set? Do you know what your skill set is? It can get very complicated real quick. But the one thing that came up that I was thinking of was if you think of, you know, these obstacles or challenges or objectives that you were trying to accomplish or things that you're trying to do, I'm wondering if you were trying to go from level 1 to level 10 rather than level 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and sort of like what that looks like.
Oh,
so like
skipping, most definitely.
So walk us through a problem that you tried to take on and weren't successful at. What does that look like?
Well, academic skills, I guess, where you were told that you're pretty smart at something. I was told I'm pretty smart at math, science, general studies. And as you keep progressing on, and the more classmates that you meet, the more smart than they are than you kind of make up like a bit of a competitive sense in your head, and even after all those things that you tried and you kept going for, and you're still getting very minor mistakes, but just infuriates you to like the point of like a boiling water that it just keeps hitting you down. So I went from a B class student, because in Asia we have A, B, C, and D. So we have a B, C, and D. I ended up in D's mostly. So it would be from an okay student to a pretty trashy student that doesn't really know what's going on. And I wasn't really affected by that part, but I guess it just hits me subconsciously that I'm pretty not up for average. I'm pretty below the average. And that's why if I try to learn things slowly, I'll be left behind. So if I try to skip things ahead and try to make it perfect as fast as possible, then probably I got a shot. Probably I could do something right. See, for modeling, for my first few models, it did take me time to make it. Like I actually made one. It was very rewarding to see in the end. But I just kept remembering the parts where I just keep failing and not getting right. Like maybe the first 5 times. And how annoying it could be. Then it just kicks in that you're not cut out for this job. That when you ask people, it takes them years to be like, wow. It took them years. And I'm pretty sure when they first started, they're kind of better than how I did anyway, so what's the point? Why bother?
I already
If someone else can do it better than you.
I already failed so many times before. I'm a B student. There's A students out there. They can do it faster than me. What's the point?
Exactly.
So, there is something I wanted to kind of break down and highlight. Okay. So one is pacing. The other one was that feeling you mentioned with the bubbling rage whenever you would, do little things wrong. Another thing I would ask is, do you know what the flow state is? Are you familiar?
No.
Have you ever played a challenging game, like a video game, and gotten, really good at it and kind of been super immersed in it till you kind of lose everything else around you and it's really enjoyable, both in skill?
Oh yeah, every single game I played. Like my only way of I guess escape
Mm-hmm.
was just playing games.
And do you play anything of like that's somewhat like very challenging, but you manage to master it and get good at it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like, maybe in a fighting game or a shooting game, how you kind of get into the zone. That's typically how people know flow. They get into the zone and they're at their peak form. Nothing's stopping them. They're on fire. They're, sort of like water. They're dancing. And you're at your best because you're in that state of being. And what's absent there? What is not there?
Your self-hate that you just love to progress forward.
Right.
That you can actually feel yourself progressing more and more each day. You keep progressing at that game.
Mm-hmm. So that's something that I feel like is really getting in your way. Now, gaming is a special thing. There's lots of things to give that sweet dopamine injection, just colorful lights, progression, you see yourself advancing, you got missions, you got objectives, you got a whole bunch of fun stuff going on. But in real life, we
Yeah.
don't have all of those things. And the less distractions we have, the harder it can be to manage ourselves. But if we did find a way to combat those negative thoughts and feelings, and you could be in your flow state with studying, with modeling, with any creative work that you do, just anything that you do in life, when you can kind of be in that flow state and stay consistent, step by step, pace by pace, at your pace. Consistency is what gives that compound interest that leads up to the bigger things. And what I'm hearing is that whenever these negative thoughts start bubbling and boiling in, that the feeling is just too intense and you're like, oh, fuck it. Like, what's the point anyways? I failed in the past. What's the point? Yeah, so I just got busted out of my flow state, right? All right, so now I got to get in. So what would I normally do? I'd kind of breathe with it, kind of go back to the heart, get in sync with my mind. And we were talking about pacing. We were talking about, a little bit of what sounds like self-compassion. Meeting ourselves where we're at. In video games, when you would select like a fighter character and you see his stats, that's their stats. Maybe they're a heavy fighter. Maybe they're very, quick and agile. Maybe they're more technical. Same with cars. What those stats are what you got to work with. You have to know what your stats are so that you can place yourself in a situation that accommodates those. And I'm trying to think of like how that would fit into like your life. So like if you are, consider yourself like a B student at your best. The statement of life is not fair really comes into mind because what I kind of hear happening is that, you know, you got all these sports cars, you know, the A students that are just fucking zooming. They're zooming really fast. They're doing really well. But we don't always have the whole picture. Like, you know, there's always going to be geniuses out there in whatever field, right? But imagine that stat chart again, and you never know how, like, specialized they are. You don't know if they're well-rounded. Maybe they're hyper-intelligent in this area, and they're really not doing well in all these other areas. But those are the areas that you would be good at. Maybe you are more well-rounded. Maybe you haven't discovered fully, like, what your high stat is, or what the combination of stats would best suit you for. Are you good with talking with people? Are you super creative? Can you meet deadlines? You know, can you, you know, learn and be consistent over time? Because, like, let's say that these people have, like, a photographic memory, and they barely got to touch a book. But the second that they don't understand something, they crash. They can't do it. Gifted kid syndrome. But you, though you may not be able to learn it as fast, you're consistent. Yeah, it may take me like a week to learn what you learned in an hour, but I'm diligent every day, and I stick at it. You know, I take care of myself. You know, give myself a little bit of a break that I can't learn it as fast. But if you take you and that gifted person in that subject that you both don't know, guess who's gonna flourish in the long run? That other person is oh god, VR chat almost broke. That other person is going to have that same bubbling rage feeling that you're describing because they don't understand it right away, and they're gonna quit. Even though you don't learn as fast, but you stayed with it, and you built on those skills, now you're going to find yourself in a place more elevated than these other people. So it's a matter of perspective and working with your own strengths.
Right.
It's hard to not feel like we're falling behind.
Always thought that if you can't keep up, cut loose.
Strategy.
You know, the ground always feels better. Yeah.
So, let's take the time machine and maybe go back to the earliest time where you felt like you just had to keep up. You couldn't go at your own pace. What does that look like?
Tournament of a game, had to do what it takes just to reach that goal, because it was the most fun part ever. Knowing that you actually made improvements, you get comments from your teammates and your friends that, hey, you're doing well. You see, you're doing better than what you did last week, than you did yesterday. And that just kept motivating me to go more and more. And even though we did not win, it was still the most exhilarating thing ever. And yeah, I miss those moments. A tournament, having a family, and online, even though it's not like VR chat, it's more like a guild. And you've been on together since day one. That's great. Just get on, see them every day.
Now
feel like improving.
Imagine what would have happened if maybe the self-hate was even more intense. and you weren't improving fast enough, or you weren't, like you saw the best player, or the best person at this, and you compared yourself to them, and you're like, damn, I can't do what he does right now. How am I ever going to possibly get there? What do you think would have happened to those moments?
At that moment, I would have thought, like, yeah, I would have thought, just you wait. Give me a couple months.
Yes!
Maybe I could reach that.
Just you wait. It's going to take me some time, but I'm going to get there. I want you to remember that.
Yeah.
Even after we're done talking. That's a really powerful thing. Just you wait. I'm going to get there. You said that every day to yourself. With conviction. Like you really mean it. You would start to challenge that self-hate and that doubt. How would you apply that?
What if I overthink it?
Okay, so let's walk through that. What would happen?
So, my overthinking goes, I guess, more than two ways. Thinking that I may achieve it, may not achieve it, come close to it, accept defeat, start off in the middle, or start until the middle, and just stop altogether, or just dipping out altogether.
Alright.
Like, just you wait. But how long would that take?
Okay, so there's some...
Can't keep repeating that.
Okay, so there's the pressure. You're feeling like you're falling behind, or you're not going fast enough. When progress becomes invisible, that can almost be maddening. How long is it going to take? So what do you think the goal would be? If progress is invisible, what do you do?
If I was in the zone, probably kept trying. Yeah, probably kept trying. If I wasn't, would have just straight up left.
And that's what we're trying to figure out here. You have a hard time, from what it sounds like, being okay with not improving as fast as you would like, or seeing progress at all. Because it's just going to keep reinforcing the fact of, am I ever going to achieve it? I don't see if I'm making any progress. Should I just accept defeat? So if the goal was to persevere no matter what, like everything depended on it, you stand your ground and you really hold on to just you wait, what would you need to do?
If everything was on the line, if everything was on the line, I would just stand. If I got knocked down, I'd get back up. Because that was the fun part, getting back up. And actually tasting that victory after getting back down so many times.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Now I notice as we kind of talking about these things, there is some life in perseverance from the different parts of your life that you're describing. But the problem is dealing with those negative thoughts, the overthinking. Now, brains are programmed by repetition. You will do what you repeatedly tell yourself. And if you do not challenge it, that will be your habits, which will be your character, which will be your destiny. That will be your life. So right from the bottom, you have, let's take your self-hate and put it as another person standing right outside of you, or it could be me. Is saying, come on, man. Like, you're never gonna be as good as him. Like, you've been playing for 2 months and you're still in the fucking lower brackets. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not good enough. It's not fast enough. Like, you're wasting your time, man. Now, what are you gonna say to that person?
I'm trying. What else can I do? If I can't make it, and I can't.
What else might you say?
I don't want to quit. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not until I'm done trying.
Not until you're done. But it sounds like you're done right now, man. You're never gonna get there. So what else might you say?
I don't know. Normally after that, I just kept quiet. Not sure what to say.
This is the moment. Right here. This is where everything falls. What would you say to yourself, to other people? They're telling you to stop right now. This is it.
I'm tired. I'm tired of listening. I'm tired of not doing what I want to do. I'm tired of following what people say and being like a robot. I'm done. I want to live my life. I don't want to reach it. May not be today. One day. One day. It will. Just give me time. Actually, no. Fuck you. I'll take it by myself. I'm reaching it.
Very nice. But there seems to be some exhaustion in the way you say that. What's going on there?
I am not one that stands up to people. Again, I'm a soft person. Highly sensitive. And been contemplating on relieving. So, like many other people, it's a bit exhausting to say what's on your mind or to actually do what I want to do. But I am tired though. I am tired of being this way, of not actually doing what I want to do. Because I want to make models and I hate being lazy. I hate the fact that I can't do something so extraordinaire, so cool, just because of laziness and how much that I hate myself. Like, sometimes I just want to just talk to myself right in front of me and not actually punch him. Not actually talk to him. Just to give him, like, a hug. Being like, you know, I know you hate me and all that, but, like, I got you. You and I, we're the same. You don't have to do this by yourself. We're in this together. That's why you're here, and I'm here.
Can you do it?
Kinda wish I stopped hating myself. I think I can.
Can you do it?
With all that hate in my head. Mm.
Can you do it?
Yeah. I think I
do
can.
it? Can you do it?
Yes, I think I can.
Can you do it? There's another
Yeah,
person
actually,
here. There's another person here. Get him in there too. Can we do it?
yes, I think we can. I'm gonna help him out. Do whatever it takes. You know, actually embrace myself again.
What would you tell him? What would you tell him? Can we do it?
Sus. You and I have been through a lot. You and I know what we've done, what could have been done, our strength and weakness. But this time, I got you. Like, no matter how much we don't like each other, how much we hate each other, and how much that we actually love each other, I got you. Like, let's go.
We can do this.
We are the same one after all. And we can do this. We definitely can. Yeah, we can do this. I believe in that.
We can do this.
I believe in this. That was... kind of feel a bit relieved now. Actually, no, not a bit. I feel very relieved. Still scary, but it's a great feeling. Yeah.
Now,
Oh man.
I know you just went through that, but I'm gonna throw a couple at you. I'm only a B student.
That's fine. Doesn't matter what you are. Still a great person to me.
I'm not fast enough.
Doesn't matter. We can just take our time. We can take the whole time in the world if we have to. I'm gonna reach it someday. Promise.
If I take off the mask, who am I? What am I gonna do? What's gonna happen?
Ooh. We are going to do what we want. We will be what we want to be. We will retain our decency, of course, because that's who we are. But after that, we can do whatever the hell we want.
And if somebody has a problem with it, Emma dusts in the way.
You know what? If anyone has a problem with it, they do them. We do we. We can't really judge them for their problems on us, and they actually don't really affect us. Because we are we. We're not supposed to change for someone else. We just change for
What if it
ourselves.
takes too long?
Again, no matter how long it takes, I'm with you. We're gonna figure this out. Together. You and me. I guess now I embrace. I move forward. And I break myself. Oh well. Yeah, I break myself out of this shell. I'm gonna try to take off this mask.
What's gonna happen?
Slowly.
What's gonna happen to us? What's that gonna look like?
Doesn't really matter now, does it? We're gonna be us. We can do what we want. We can actually do modeling like we actually plan to do. We can make both our parents proud, no matter if our sister was a straight A student with high grades. We don't have to live in her shadow. We don't have to feel like we live in her shadow.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We're just gonna go back to doing the same things that we do every day, back in the same cycle. What's gonna change?
What's gonna change? We're gonna live our life differently. Sure, we may be doing the same thing, but at least we know we're doing it progressively. We're gonna do it different. We're gonna like and dislike different things. We're not gonna follow the same thing. We're gonna be spontaneous. We're gonna be different. We're gonna be weird. Don't you remember how it was like being weird? Creative, young, dumb, arrogant, oblivious to the whole world. We're still oblivious. We know so much from a screen, and we barely go out. You know what? Maybe we should just start going out every day. No matter how long it takes. Could be a walk, could be a run, could be even the bike. Come on, dude. You want to get lost in New York, remember? Yeah. Yeah. Let's get lost together.
Okay. Are we gonna do it every day?
We're gonna try to do it every day. We don't have the money for it, but yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Damn right. Let's go.
I hope we find something.
Hey, even though we don't find ourselves yet, we're having fun doing so. That's what counts. Because if you're not living your life having fun, then what are you doing? Static. Robot. All you need is food, just like an oil. And you yourself say you don't want to be like that.
What are we gonna do with all these masks that we have? We spend so much time figuring out how to be like other people. Like, just what do we do with this?
Well, we have two choices. Either we smash them all, or we just keep them as mementos. Remember how we used to be, and just learn from it. But we would never put the mask back on. No matter what. Not even a little. Hey, come on, you can't see. All those masks are pretty much dented. They got cracks in it. How long can you keep wearing it until it finally breaks? Then we have the process of making a new one altogether again. Just to feel lonely and isolated. And not being yourself for another 24 years. Or even longer.
Are you sure we can do it?
Yeah. If it's just you and me, we can. If it's just you, or if it's just me individually, we can't. The brain can't go on without the heart, and the heart can't go on without the brain.
Fine. You better talk to me every day, and we better try. I don't want to go back to that anymore.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. Of course. We'll hang out every day.
Don't give up on me. If I'm gonna be in this, I gotta know that we're both in this, and that we mean it. We're gonna do it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna have some rough days, like really rough days. But all through that thick and thin, I'll be there. Hey, we both know it's not gonna be a peachy weather. There's always gonna be a rain or thunderstorm. Plus, you love the rain. We love the rain.
We love the rain.
Just imagine it as cleansing, then stuff piling out of. Don't think of it as something you can scream behind of because of how loud it could be. Feel the water. Let it soak into your skin and cleanse it out. That's how it used to be, remember? Run in the rain, dance in the rain, heck, even shower in the rain.
When are we starting?
Today. This time, we're not waiting for the bus to come. We're walking home. We're getting out of here. It's time that we got up and left. Come on, get that cardio going. Right? Come on, it'll be fun.
I can't see. It says we can't go beyond here. What are we gonna do?
Well, this is how it works. We make our own road. Can't just wait for the bus forever, you know? No matter how much we want a ride home, just gotta take a leap of faith.
Are you ready?
Anytime.
I have faith that you're gonna go somewhere. And you're gonna get there. It may not be the biggest thing, it may not be the littlest thing, but you're gonna get there. You have a lot of strengths in you. And a very intelligent mind. So it's kind of time to let go of the shackles of self-hate. And all it took...
I had such a big heart, just never to myself.
Right. Was a little self-compassion. Loving yourself. So moving forward, you might have to have the same the same conversation that we just had. And every time you are thrust back into this place. Because those days are likely to come.
Is it bad to miss this place?
No. It's perfectly normal to feel that way. but it's time to move on.
Yeah.
So you may have to grieve this place, this lifestyle, these feelings, and you know, kind of give them some time. Just as you would visit somebody in a graveyard, you make peace with the person you used to be.
Right.
So you will
Wow,
probably
it's almost tranquil now. Yeah. It feels less gloomy.
Was this helpful?
Very much so.
Well, I'm glad that you decided to reach out, make some time, and give it a shot. So, no matter how long or short this may be, I think it was very powerful. And usually, what we end up doing at the ends of these interviews is, if you had advice, guidance, or statement to say to everybody else, everybody that might watch this, what would you tell them?
No matter how much you hate yourself for whatever reason, you don't actually hate yourself. You just substitute that for love. Because you only live with yourself, and if you can't live with yourself, then you're your own worst enemy. I've been wearing this mask for too long, and I've hated myself my entire life. And I think you've endured enough, that we've endured enough. Let yourself in, and tell yourself you're not alone. Though you may want to have that physical affection of not wanting to be alone, just remember that not only are you in here, you're in here. There's two of you instead of one. And that's all you need, really. Just yourself. Family is a bonus, yes, and having a girlfriend or boyfriend is a highly great bonus, yes. But when you think about it, like really do think about it, you're mostly alone by yourself and your thoughts. And your thoughts is basically you standing in front of you. If you can't see yourself, just speak loudly and look at yourself in the mirror. Then look into your own eyes and tell yourself, you got this. You know? Hang on tight. Wait until you get there.
We can do this.
Yeah, we can do this. No matter how bleak it is, we can do this.
I want you to pick your new homeworld that you will commit to. And if it's too fast to change it, that's all right.
I would commit to.
But I want you to pick the new homeworld that reflects the new you, your new path, your new life. any of those come to mind. You can take your time to find it, and we'll go in that world and kind of take a look around. After the rain. Not this time. How's it feel?
Good. Great, actually. Been living my whole life in the city. Always wanted to be out, like, in the outdoors. Countryside. Feels great. You know? Open air. Doors is open. You got creativity around you. You got a somewhat looking dangerous hammock that seems really cool at the same time.
You make a zip line
And
from here to
just
there.
exactly from here to here, and you got toys just lining up like a footbridge. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Did you set this place to your home world already?
Yeah, I should. I'll do that. There we go. I only came here once, and yeah, I would like this place to be a new home. It'd be really cool. Open areas. And just nature's all around. Of course, you got lo-fi playing in the background, cause very chill, just vibing.
Yep. Oh, we can walk out here. Is the country something that you're really interested in? You want to either visit or live in?
Would love to try to live in, actually. You know, it's really open. In the city, everything is packed. Of course, you'd have the parks, you have the alleyways, but like, country would be more open, more free. Sure, there's things that's gonna be a bit more inconvenient, but where's the fun in that? Right? If you want to get to somewhere, ride, bike, car.
Yeah, it becomes an
And I think
adventure.
that would be more fun. Exactly. Because you don't know what you're gonna see every day. You don't know what trees you're gonna smell. Don't know what animals you're gonna come pass by. Yeah.
Well, I can see that a few beacons have lit up. Get away from the city. Learn to love yourself and be consistent with it. And start going out and experiencing so that you can, know what it's like to live without the mask, because you can't stand it anymore.
Yeah. It's gonna be more adventurous now. More sights to see.
And it's starting today. You're gonna throw the VR headset off, and you're just gonna fucking go into New York City butt naked, by the way, and you're gonna have an adventure.
Oh god, yes, that would be ideal. Highly ideal, yes.
And you're not gonna get caught by the police. That's the hard part.
Why do you think they made GTA?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's like a reenactment of life.
All right. Well, I'm glad this was helpful for you. And I definitely
Can only do one hand.
I'll see you around. I wish the best for you. We'll check in every now and then. And yeah,
Thank you.
the best to you. Godspeed. I don't know.
To adventure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.